Hello fishing friends, this is Matthew with How Fishing 13 bringing you another reel service and repair video. Today I have something kind of special though. We're going to open an old tackle box that has some fishing equipment in it. I found this, it belonged to my father-in-law. He since passed away several years ago, and it was out in his storage shed. And we bought the house and the shed and everything, so I'm going to show you what I found in here. Some stuff that hadn't been touched probably for 20 or 30 years. Let's take a look. So here's the old tackle box. This is a Liberty Steel Chest Corporation tackle box made in Rochester, New York, made in the USA. They just don't make them like that anymore. Has a pretty neat little latch, this little spring latch right here. You can put a little lock on there if you want, or just a little clasp to keep it from opening up on accident, you know, but it's kind of a neat little clasp. And it's got a measuring tape, a measuring stick here for 12 inches, so you can measure that fish that you catch. Opens up, has a nice little tray here for tackle in here. It's got a dent in here. And let's open it up. This is what I found in there. So here's an old Zebco. I think this I'm not even sure, it doesn't even have the name on it, but I mean, I've never seen one like this before. I love Zebcos, but I use modern Zebcos, and I have never used one like this before. It's got a dent in here, probably just from you know, being you know, mishandled. This is how you cock it, and it doesn't seem to work. I need to see if lubricating it up would help it out, but this doesn't seem to work. But it's it even says 0 Hour Bomb Company on it. So this is an early one. It has aluminum covers on the front and the back, has a steel foot. I think this is aluminum too. It's been painted black. A big rivet right there. A little aluminum handle with plastic handles. I'm not sure if this is a 33 or a 22, but it had this little thumb thing on there so you could, because it didn't have a drag, and that was basically your drag system right there. So at some point in time, I'm going to service this, and I think it's just probably old oil, but my guess is that my father-in-law had this and only used a little bit. Got a little bit of bow rash here where it leaned against the bottom of the boat or against the back of the garage. Need to replace that line. It's probably 50 years old. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, we got an old South Bend Spincast 67 made in the USA. Look at that, it works. So that'll be a fun one. It's got a broken button here, probably from who knows what. But if you know anything about these reels, comment below and let me know. I don't know anything about these. I'll have to look up and, you know. This one doesn't seem to have a drag either. It's a direct drive, which means that if you wanted to let the fish run, you had to let it just run. Oh, it does have some kind of drag in there. Not sure how to even adjust the drag. Interesting. Hey, it doesn't have an adjustable drag, just a drag. Okay, then we got, looks like an old pin. It's a pin number 77. So a very simple basic reel. It doesn't have any drag on it either. Just a clicker. You can turn the clicker off and on. So very cheap reel. But an interesting reel. It's in pretty good shape. Probably hardly ever was used. Look at there. A nice little Zebco 202 with a metal foot. And been riveted on there. Let's open it up. Let's open up the front and see what kind of spinner cone. All this has like the, I've seen these before. So it doesn't have pickup pins. What it has these little notches. I don't know what you call them, but what guys would call them, but that's an old 202. Nice one. I'll have to do a service video on that one at some point in time. It seems to work. Yep. This doesn't have really a true drag system, but it has like a clicker on top of the spool. But it'd catch fish. Okay, let's see what else we got. Got an old Penn quality sterling fly box. My dad had lots of these. They were nice fly boxes. Let's see what's inside. Okay, we got some hooks. There's a Mepps. Look at that. 75 cents. You couldn't buy one of these for like $3 nowadays. It says Mepps, Sheldon's and Inc. Indigo, Wisconsin. That's the number on there. World's #1 killer for all game fish. Anglia Killer by Mepps. Have some coupons. You can get a new Mepps Fisherman Guide. Has little advertisements on the back here. That's kind of cool. I'll have to just hang that one up in my office. Just leave it in the package. Oh, this is an old a triple teaser. It's a silver triple teaser. Back in the day, you would use like lead line or sinking line and troll with these triple teasers. That one's just a silver one. My dad said his uncle used to paint these like half yellow and half blue. That's all he used with these triple teasers. That's a pretty nice old lure. We have, just an old spinner, and it's missing I don't know if it has a brand on there, but it says 3/4 on it, but it's missing the hook. Has a little swivel on there. Now there's an old spinner. Looks like a homemade jobber, because it's a swivel that has a little spinner clasp on it, and you could take this apart and put a hook on there if you wanted to. Here's an old spinner. I don't know how, this is probably a homemade jobber too or something, but it's missing a hook. Some old hooks in there. There's an old, it's a little catfish. Oh, it's a little spinner. A little catfish and a little double hook on it. I bet you that would work pretty good. Let's see what else we got. There's an old Super Duper. South Bend Super Duper, yep. I remember when these came out back in the 70s. My friend Travis, he'd always fish with a Super Duper. Get untangled here. What a mess. So here's some kind of rig. It's got a little spinner on it, a little blade for trolling. I was probably set up like that, you know. A little tail. There's a little catfish. Okay, here's an old grasshopper fly. Or a minnow, a muddler minnow. That's an old Zebco spoon. Wow. And what's this? A little tiny flasher. I can't read what's on there though. Get the Super Duper out of here. Wow, the hooks are still sharp. I know that once in a while when people are out going through garage sales, they'll find these old tackle boxes that used to belong to Grandpa or something, you know. Then there's some snails here. I just need to get rid of those so it doesn't keep, but there's some old flies. Oh, this one right here is a really interesting fly. Look at this. This is a woven hair fly. Look at that. That's kind of a neat old fly. My dad used to tie these, and he says Grandpa, but those were woven hair flies. Looks like a little mayfly. That's a pretty cool little fly. I'll have to take and maybe make a little board with this old stuff and mount it on the wall. That's what I'm going to do with it. Just make a little wooden board and take and put some of these old flies on there to remember my father-in-law by. Anyhow, thanks for joining me. Kind of fun to open up an old tackle box full of stuff. Take a look at stuff. That's a yellow hackle fly. That's one that my brother-in-law loved to fish with up on the Bear River, up in the Uintas. And he'd put what he liked to do is he liked to take this yellow hackle fly, then you get a rock roller and take the rock roller out, and just barely tip the rock roller backwards so that it would grab onto the hackle here, and you fish with it. It looked like a mating bug, and the trout just loved them. All right, well, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this. Comment below. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. I have lots of videos on Zebco reels, how to repair them, and demonstrations how to use them, and lots of fishing videos catching some nice trout. And generally I use Zebco equipment. So have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.